from the technical part of the ethics committee of UPC, and they asked us for clarification. I think that they did not understand some aspects of the proposal. They got a bit confused with the with the what kind of ethics committee we were talking about. So I think that yeah, we need to clarify a few things, but I think that it's not too much what we need to change in the document. So let me open the document they sent. Alex Leon. Okay.
Professor, I think there is a conflict maybe about the local IRB for the
Yeah, yeah.
researchers. Yes, and
Yeah.
the universal.
Yeah, I think that they. So one important thing is that the people who revise this, who is Gabriel Verdejo, failed to understand that we were referring to the ethics committee of the institution,
Yes.
of the of the corresponding author of the paper. So that's
Yes.
something that we need. So maybe we could do is. I'm going to just a moment. I'm going to create a new tab in the share document.
Yes, Professor, I prepared a reply.
You
Yes,
already prepare a reply.
yes,
Okay, okay.
and
That's excellent. Hi,
yes,
Manuel.
yes. I created a new tab on the.
Hi.
Good morning,
Hi.
Doctor.
So Osama was just saying that he has
Yes,
created a new tab with a proposal for the reply to the, because there
Perfect.
was some misunderstanding about the, for example, about the ethics committee.
yes,
Mm, so which is the tab we should
yes.
look into?
In the
The
last
committee
tab,
reply,
yes,
the last
committee
one.
reply.
Okay.
Professor, I answered the questions were sent by the email. And yes, the main topic maybe I found that there is a confusion for the IRB local and the UBC IRB.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah, let me go through the reply. Thank you for your thorough review of our proposal and for our feedback. We have carefully read our documents. Based on your comments, please find our detailed response below. Funding resources and experiment dates. Funding resources. Here we should say that so Imanol and myself are supported by a national
yes,
project. Okay, so I'm going to include the details in a moment.
okay.
So it's Uh, mm, mm, the competitive. Mm, uh, mm, mm, uh, so I'm going to put it in as suggestions so that you can
Good.
easily track the changes for the main document. Okay. Mm, mm, um, mm, mm, mm. Okay. Mm, uh, okay, here it is. Experiment dates, data collection phase. Mm, okay. The experiment date. Uh, 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 Clarification on the. Let me. On the CPC role. The data collection. The first. Perfect. That's perfect. Mm, I'm in 2.1. Okay, now I'm in 2.2. Okay. Now I'm on section 3. The collection handling the widget and why we're gonna reproof. Okay, maybe the only one that is because they are very concerned about which
Yes.
data and maybe this is the only one that is not that maybe we should uh, try to this section might be well this section this part could be expanded. The part on the which data and why. Okay.
Yes.
Criteria to ensure cross-cultural. Our recruitment plan relies on institutional affiliation.
Yes, in this section, Professor, I point to the diversity.
Yeah, the part
So
on the
the
yeah, but in the previous
yes,
version, we mentioned that essentially we were going to contact corresponding authors from published papers in I3VR and so on.
mm,
Okay,
yes,
so now we are changing the criteria.
yes.
Um,
Because Professor, I think that maybe to get the diversity in the gender and in the location of the authors, maybe this conflict with the specific measure of our studying for choosing the most related topics to our study. So,
yeah, but mm, so this study is very particular in many aspects, okay?
yes,
Because it involves people, because we are going to contact people who has to
yes,
reply and so on, and there is some privacy issues, there is, but the gender here, so we are not, we essentially are getting data, the purpose of the study. So at some point we are collecting names, emails, and so on,
yes,
which is personal data. But the ultimate goal is to get all these variables, all these risk mitigation
yes,
measures, and so on. Okay, and this is very gender independent. So this essentially
So,
is how different, how researchers from different institutions across the world so gender balance here,
yes,
I think, I don't know, Imanol, what do you think? But here
I
it's
completely agree. This is more like a
it,
systematic review.
yeah, yeah, it's not
We are not
exactly,
selecting
it's
people,
something,
we are selecting
it's
papers.
exactly, we are selecting papers,
yes,
and incidentally we need to contact one of the authors,
The
and
people.
yes,
in order to
Yeah.
be it's the corresponding author, and the corresponding author might be male or female,
yes,
but I don't think that. So I think that it's better to justify that the part of the institutions across the world. I think that's very appropriate, but in order to have a good representation of institutions, but for the gender, I would propose to have a different reply in the
yes,
line of, in the sense of, that we essentially we are studying papers or
yes,
well, papers, no, not papers, we
Yeah.
are documents, or research proposals by different institutions. So
And I would include on that the avoiding the different career stages because
yeah, because and it would be very difficult because some papers have a lot of authors, and
yes,
it would be very time consuming for you to yeah,
to identify it, and normally first authors, which are the corresponding authors, are PhD students. So
yes,
this can be very difficult.
it's no, not a meta review. You said another word, Imanol.
Systematic
Yeah,
systematic bibliographic review.
systematic. Mm,
I would say something like it's an extended systematic bibliographic review, something like that, to say that we are not we need to do something more than review the papers. We need to contact the authors to get information about the process. Uh, Something like that. But in in a major sense, we can say it's like a systematic review. it's, we will go through papers.
Okay, so I just left a comment on this recruitment criteria. So I think that what is and I would focus exclusively on the institutional part, okay, and the geographic. I think that the geographic balance is appropriate, okay. Mm, Okay, how data will be collected? The data will be collected via email requests asking authors to share their institutional IRB documents or by participating in shadow stocks online. Did we really, in the first version, consider this possibility of online interviews?
Yes, we added the choice on the email letter for the first
Uh, y- yeah, but that's a lot of work.
oh yes.
Uh, mm, so I'm
Yeah,
not
it is
saying that
included in our
it was included. It was already included. Okay.
yeah in
Uh,
the second ethics committee. It is
okay. Okay. I hope that not not too many people will choose for the online
in my
interview.
experience with the heritage that we perform a lot of structured interviews. Most of the people at the end prefer it that you send them the questions and they answer
And
like in
the
5
answers,
minutes.
yeah. Where data
Because
will be stored?
it's faster to them also.
Yes.
Okay, anonymization and user access control. Mm, um, Missing appendix B prompt. Completely attach the missing sections. Uh, okay, so which data and why? So besides the so concerning the reply, I'm happy with it, except with what we just discussed. Okay, the first 2 points in section 3. So maybe we can. Is it okay if we move to the new version, which tab is now of the document, the review version of the proposal? Is it the second tab?
Yes, yes, Professor.
The second one. Okay.
Um, Second ethical committee. Yes, this
Okay.
is the
I'm
last
going to copy
version.
the. Okay. I'm going to copy the funding.
Because the second ethics committee is the new one.
Uh,
I'm a bit confused.
yes, Professor. The second ethical committee review proposal
So
is the last
it's the new one.
version.
And the version that we sent to the
Yes,
ethics committee is the first or the second, the first
the
one.
second is updated for the first. This is the first. Is not complete, but in the second.
Yeah, but I mean Osama, the which version we sent to the ethic committees,
Yes, this.
the first one
No, the
or
second.
the second or the second before the modifications you have already done.
Yes, the second is was sent in the last meeting, and we generate
Okay,
a PDF file from this document. The first
okay, perfect.
document before modifications, because we added the appendices and the prominence and the extraction features and the email letter in this document.
Okay.
Okay, so now I'm reviewing. So in the general information, I just added funding.
Okay.
Did you modify anything in section 2?
No, I did not update this document.
Okay, okay. So so the comments in the reply are to be incorporated in
Yes.
this.
I think
Okay.
we maybe
Okay.
we want to two modifications. The first, I will send as a message on the email, and I will also update the document for be appropriate to the modifications on the letter.
Yeah. And I would Carlos highlight the changes in some color or something like that.
Yeah, I think so. So I just created a third tab.
Okay.
And I'm going to use, for example, green for new text,
Yes.
or and for the moment it's just the
Sounds good.
funding part.
Okay. Professor, I think there is objection for using support for IRB, and we can use validate. I will update this.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yes.
Exactly. Yeah. And the same what you mentioned,
Yes.
local and versus. Yeah.
Yes.
Mm, I'm going to copy it here. Let me just check section 2. Here studies introduce unique. I think that it was clear from section 2 that we were referring to the IRB of the local institutions, but
Yeah.
in any case, and it's important that the it's not so easy for you, Osama, to really modify this document so that it agrees with the reply. Okay, in particular the recruitment, the recruitment part. Okay, so the data collection sections should clearly match what you are going to propose
Yes.
for the recruitment part. Okay,
Yes.
and it's not. I think that we should be very clear. Okay, we already said that we don't care about gender balance because we are not actually studying people, but studying proposals,
Yes.
ERB proposals. That's the. Uh, mm, I think that in order to avoid bias, the main focus is to have a good institutional representation across the world. But exactly how are we going to ensure this? I think that they would like to know the details, because some people in the ethics committee are statisticians. They know a lot about statistics, and they will know the details exactly of what is the method for this sampling and how it can be made compatible with the fact that so we have two challenges, okay? And Osama, you should do your best in reflecting this in the updated document, okay? So on the one hand, we have one limitation is that we, at least if we stick to what we say in the document, we will only address corresponding authors of recent papers on
Yes.
VR
Yes.
journals or conferences. Okay, so this already give us. So one thing that because I think that the next reply, you know that UPC closes on August. Okay, so the next iteration with the ethics UPC ethics committee will be on September. So if it is easy for you with some script or you could, for example, do a preliminary analysis of the
Yes.
geographic distribution of the institutions of the corresponding authors you already collected. To see in case we contact the corresponding authors of this list if there is already a good geographical balance
Okay.
or
Also, I
if they
think maybe we can depend on the institution for the authors to determine the geographical
yeah,
place.
exactly. Okay, so you have, imagine that in your Excel you have a column that is the institution,
Yes.
and then the I wouldn't use country but region, okay, similar to I3
Yes.
I triple three usually divides the world in different regions, okay, and uh, but the problem is that the limitation is that we first first we are not so free from choosing institutions because the papers must refer to ethics committee, okay, to institutional ethics committee. So
Yes.
maybe in some regions there we might find problems in finding papers where the institutions have an ethics review board and so on.
Yes.
uh, and so on the one hand just to mention this in the version that we are going to write, okay. So first, the first challenge is that we already have an initial distribution regarding VR work. And the second one is that even if we try to recruit participants in a balanced, trying to keep this geographical balance, there is no guarantee that we are going to succeed. So maybe we get a lot of answers from I don't know from Canada, for example, but very few
Yes.
from Africa countries. Okay, so these are two challenges. Okay, and uh, so I would say that we will do something in the line that we will do our best not to introduce biases in the data collection, um, but it's not actually even if there is some bias uh, on the we should try to minimize geographical
Yes.
imbalance, but even if there is some imbalance, actually we are focusing on variables that are associated to risk on VR, these kind of aspects that are I don't think that they are going to vary a lot between different countries and institutions. Okay, so the risk of VR equipment
Yes.
is essentially the same in Asia and in Europe.
Yes.
So we should we can say, okay, we are going to try to minimize bias, but the we don't see a large and we don't see a relevant risk
Yes.
in not having this balance, because at the end what we are studying is uh, variables that are quite independent from the institutions. What is going to depend is the amount of information and other aspects that each institution puts in the proposal. But I don't think that this is going to be a bias that can result in different findings or different conclusions. Okay, so I think that that one part of the both of the reply and in the modifications in the proposal is to justify exactly what we mentioned. Okay, that this is more like a systematic review, not of published documents, and that's the that's a very specific issue. But the proposals of the local ethics committee of different VR publication VR authors, and in this sense, we see that. Typical biases are not expected to produce to affect the findings, the ultimate findings. Okay, this taxonomy of variables,
Yes.
experimental variables, and ethical mitigation strategies. But what is important is that there are no disagreements between what you put in the reply
Yes.
and this final document, because otherwise they will, for sure they will detect this, because they will read the reply and after it the full document. So
Yes. Professor, about the gender, we can neglect this diversity for the authors, and we can depend on the geographical distribution only
mhm,
for
yeah, mhm,
yes, for
yeah,
avoiding
mhm,
biases. Okay.
mhm, yeah. Mhm. And maybe I would, in this same line, in the reply, I think that we don't need to say that we are going to oversample those typically underrepresented. So I think that is not because of what we just said, okay? Because this potential imbalance is very unlikely to affect the final results. The final result is this taxonomy of VR
Yes.
specific experimental variables. Okay, so it's not really affecting, is not reflecting the profile of people. Is reflecting
Yes.
the understanding of VR technology risks and ethical issues. So
Uh, Professor, I want to maybe I think maybe we can depend on the publishing journal as a geographical distribution, or we can depend on the author's geographical living or institution for them
I think that the institution is
institution.
really, yeah. So the country of the institution. Let me check. I3VR, for example, is a very good example of a conference that puts a lot of emphasis on diversity and so on. okay, and they have a long standing tradition of this, okay. So I would expect that accepted published papers and accepted papers in I3VR, that most of them also get published in a journal. So this already has a good representation of the community, okay. Because if, for example, imagine that I don't know, that some country in Africa contributes very little to VR. It doesn't make sense to try to include a lot of papers from that particular country, because we are introducing a bias there. So what we really need is we want no bias, okay? And having, for example, a representative sample of published papers in conferences that do their best in avoiding any type of diversity bias is a good guarantee of this, okay? Let me check just. No, I333 regions, no, is not appropriate for. No, no, it's not really appropriate.
Russell, I want to clarify about the papers have many authors. We can choose any of them who can be appropriate to our diversity.
No. I think that we should stick to the corresponding authors, because it's the email that is very easy to get, and it's also public, along with the publication, is that of the corresponding author. Because at the end, the proposal is unique. So maybe one paper has 10 authors. Some are male, some are female, but what we are going to analyze is their proposal, which is unique and is independent of their gender. And in some cases, the paper, some authors are from one institution, so other authors are from other institutions. Some authors have more than one affiliation and potentially from different countries. So I think that this is not really a concern. Okay, we should try to say that we are going to try to minimize geographical imbalance, but the potential negative effects of this are minimal, because we are analyzing documents and not authors' personal aspects. Yeah, I think that I think that sections on this, let's say the ones that are key are section 3, data collection methodology. Well, section 3, section 4. Well, actually, all of them.
Yes,
but
in this, as you see, I pointed to the interview. The committee that was approved.
Yeah. I did not remember this aspect. Yeah. Well, let's hope, as Emmanuel said, that very few will actually choose this modality.
And in the worst case, we can do them, and then there is local neural network that we can use to convert audio to text that works very well. We use it with Anna in some interviews. So this will help us to speed up a lot the processing of these interviews. So I won't be worried, because I don't think a lot of the people will do it that.
Can you remind me the name of this tool, Emmanuel?
Whisper,
Whisper. Okay, Whisper. Yeah.
Whisper, yeah, and it works very well.
Mhm.
Whisper is the network. I think that there are several tools that you download, and then they download the model. You can choose between several models depending on the performance of your computer. But the Whisper Medium, it works very well. The small one, not much, but the medium, yes. And you don't need the large.
Mhm.
I guess that for very complex scenarios where the audio quality or there are some noise or something like that, maybe you need the large. But for recordings, do it with a micro without background noise. The medium was more than enough.
Mhm. Okay, perfect. Mhm.
Uh, okay, Professor. I think maybe I want to review this document and
Mhm.
update matching with the topics were declared in the on the email letter and the modifications. Maybe I about the modification. They pointed to the bromate for in the appendix B. Uh, but I think that the bromate is included in this proposal.
Mhm.
But in the letter from the committee revision, they mentions that there is maybe maybe not included in this document.
Mhm. So we have system translation, description, prompt. Mm, mm, so we already got, yeah, we already put the appendix B1 and appendix. So these were already sent, right? Appendices B1 and B2.
Appendices,
The appendices B1 and B2 were part of the original
yes,
proposal, right? Okay. Okay.
this is
Mm,
the output for the prompt. But
and
the
let me check.
prompt was included by the appendix B in this section.
From your, you must also complete the document sections, also missing areas, for example, Appendix B. Do you understand this comment? Okay, so you must also complete the document sections, also missing areas, for example, Appendix B. So which part of Appendix B was missing? I don't understand. Description, prompt.
Maybe the PDF was not well generated.
Let me check the PDF that we generated. Uh,
I can
I'm
share
checking. Let me check. I'm opening the PDF that we sent.
this is the PDF file, Professor. Uh,
Huh? Yeah, I see that Appendix B was complete. I think that they fail to understand that I think that they fail to understand the because mm, of course there is in B that we say insert the full ethics proposal here.
yes,
Yeah,
yes,
because this is yeah, and I think that they thought that this is missing.
yes,
But of course, this is a template for a prompt, so they fail to understand this.
yes, yes.
Uh, let me before we let me very quickly modify the reply tab. Mm, committee reply. Okay. Missing areas. Okay. Mhm. Mm. Mm.
Professor, I think there are a confusion and misunderstanding about the target groups for our studying because the committee maybe think that this the target group is the end users, not the paper authors. So this confusion maybe make understanding and
Yeah, I just modify one aspect of the missing areas in the reply. I added that notice that parts such as insert the full ethics proposal here are intentional. We are providing a prompt template for authors to extract the relevant information from the proposals using the local LMF of their choice, so that they can share only the part of the to a study. Okay. Uh, I'm editing the first part of the reply. Mm, 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 mm. 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 I'm not very happy with this. Okay, and I'm not very happy with this last part of what I added in the reply in the at the beginning of the reply, but it's a first version. Okay, so I don't know if you can read it. Okay, so this general clarification. Our study involves people. We are collecting authors' names and emails. Then they will go to this to evaluate the information from IRB proposal. And it's more closer to a review than a classic VR than to classification involving human subjects. As a consequence,
Professor, we should indicate to local IRB to distinguish
yeah, yeah,
between the
yeah,
our IRB and
yeah.
uh,
Yeah, we can later on search for all occurrences of IRB.
I wouldn't say not the authors themselves, but I would say that more like not topics related to the authors or something like that.
Okay, not.
I don't know how to write it, but not human specific topics or human metrics. So I don't know.
Yeah. How will you end this
And
sentence?
Yeah, I don't know, but I think that maybe not to the author's conditions or author's, I don't know, conditions, maybe it sounds weird. Not to the author's, I don't know.
No, not to the
But,
authors. Not to the authors.
directly. Yeah, now it's clearer because you have included the other part, and then it's more that what we refer.
Beyond contact and metadata information about the publication, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so well, I think that there is not a lot of changes in the document. For this, it's important that for the moment it hasn't go through the ethics committee. Okay, so because they have this secretary that is are essentially technicians. Gabriel Verdejo, who is the one who has written the comment, is part of our IT staff. Okay. So he has a technical background, essentially. And it's essentially concerned about where the data is going to be stored and so on. Okay.
Yes.
So if the revised version clarify these aspects, although many aspects were already clear, but I think that they do a quick reading through the document. Not okay. So I think it's all clear. So our next meeting, I would plan it for September.
For
Okay,
September, yeah.
UPC closes during August. So the first week of September, I'm quite free. So as you prefer. For example,
the first or the week of the first or the seventh? You mean the first, no?
the first, yeah, because of classes and so on.
Yeah, okay.
So, for example, Wednesday 2nd.
No, Wednesday 2nd, I cannot.
Or Thursday?
Thursday, yes. In the afternoon.
Okay. Osama, for
At
example,
3rd
at 3.
September.
Third, yeah,
Okay.
3rd of September at
Okay.
3, for example.
Okay. Yes.
Okay, cool. Then I'm inviting you. Okay, done.
Okay. Emmanuel, we have Jorge at 45, right?
Yes.
Okay. Now I have a meeting with Reza. Okay.
See you.
See you after summer.
1 month. Yes.
Bye bye.
Yeah. Have a nice summer. Bye-bye.
Osama, in any case, feel free to contact us, to reach us by email, okay? For
Okay,
any
thank
doubt
you.
or for anything. I will read the email with less frequency, but I will at least twice a week. Okay, so feel free to contact us.
Okay, Professor, I
Okay.
want to search to enroll on the course on any platform such as Coursera or Udemy or any training platform and
Okay.
enroll a course related to our studying.
That's perfect.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
perfect. Good.
Thank you.
Okay, so see you. Bye
Thank
bye.
you. Goodbye.
See you.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Goodbye, Doctor.